ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Christian Paul speaking. Alright? This following episode here contains graphic content that may not be suitable for definitely children and some other viewers involved, which could involve graphic language, visual graphic content, and or both. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright, so we have an article coming from the New York Post as well as Fox News that's titled, FBI documents associate internet slang like based and red pill with extremism. Oh boy, this is going to be very, very, very interesting. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Oh my. The mainstream knows about the red pill now, though. They know about the whole general manosphere. The feds, I tell y'all, all these federal agencies up in the United States of America, they watching. Believe that.
Do you see? Apparently, the FBI goes after anyone that uses the term, are you ready for this? Because I know many of you use this term. Red pilled. Yes, red pilled. In fact, I have friends that were once Democrats claim to have been red-pilled, meaning they took the pill of conservatism and they found the right way that America should be headed. That's called being red-pilled. Your eyes become open to what American values and what our founding fathers and how they envision this country. That's what red-pilled is. You want to see the definition of the FBI's definition of red-pilled? Check this out. It reads red pill. In the context of racially motivated violent extremists, taking the red pill or becoming red pilled indicates the adoption of racist, anti-Semitic, or fascist beliefs. Folks, this is not even funny because I will tell you I've used the term red pilled, and I applaud anyone out there that has been red pilled, that has their eyes open now. And it has nothing to do with right-wing extremism. It has nothing to do with violence. It has nothing to do with taking a fight to anybody other than your own mind and waking up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Proud Lane, certified beta male simp man, John, where there's no game. The sociocultural nerd Christian Paul has just entered the scene, ladies and gentlemen. And what we have, ladies and gentlemen, is some news that has been posted around a little over a couple weeks ago. At the time of this recording, it's around April 21st, 2023. So the article took place literally around 11 days ago, around a week and a half ago it was posted out. But this is literally of extreme importance. It's basically showing that the federal government has literally taken over and actually monitoring all the stuff that's been going on in social media when it comes to the whole manosphere. It's the red pill, MGTOW, MRAs, men's rights activists, whatever pill y'all got, PUAs, black manosphere, however it may be. More specifically, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is doing like a very thorough analysis and digging on who's handling business, like what Incel is doing what when it comes to these forums. That doesn't mean they're actually going to get caught yet. That doesn't mean the content creators of these spaces are going to be caught. What we know as of yet, that's up in the United States. I'm not saying that they're going to get charged or convicted, but they are thoroughly investigating the whole space based on the activity of like what's been really done, right? And most of it that you see here, they're looking for the term red pill, which is actually mainly often used by Sneeko, Andrew Tate, Donovan Sharp, Rollo Tomasi, Fresh and Fit, whatever, as well. We actually knocked those down. Sterling Cooper, Asshole Consulting, you name it. They mainly associated with that red pill mask yourself to the extreme, right? So based on what we see on the article here, they have the key arrays that the FBI mainly deems that's the belief shared by many online communities that society is corrupt and that the believer is the victim of this corruption, mainly deriving this ordeal straight from the Matrix when it comes with Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus. So they would define Chad as the race-specific term used to describe the idolized version of a male, mainly white male who's successful at getting sexual romantic attention from women. They know incels unsuccessfully compete against Chads for attention, which you hear about social media mainly all the time. Looks matching a lot of terms that the PUAs mainly use, and they have other terms that deal with self-pity and violence. It's over, hopelessness, being an incel, height cell, ball cell, whatever the heck it is. Define people with short stature or baldness respectively, and they would list the terms. The feds basically deal with racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism, which deals with a mix of extreme terms and innocent ones. Now, how the FBI defines the term red pill, it basically defines the whole definition, indicating the adoption of racist, white supremacist, white nationalist, anti-Semitic, and or fascist belief. FBI defines basically used to refer to someone who has been converted to white supremacist ideology, racist ideology that may be, or as a way of indicating ideological agreements, whether it's anti-woke or have may be. And LARPing, how they define it is basically folks engaging in live action role play, often as characters in high fantasy settings. And all they do in this definition is not actually basically trying to do all these investigations of what we know, but we can't throw that literally away out of the picture, right? All of this, unfortunately, has been caused mainly by a lot of folks that are up in the manosphere that say like a lot of reckless stuff, that talk a good game, but they're very contradictory in literally action. So much so that they will literally say or do some stuff that could be criminal, that's literally up by the public view right through social media, whether it's bragging of criminal activity or really showing up your guns, making terrorist threats, so someone literally up in the general public. Alright? The more often they do it, the more vulnerable they become to the FBI, U.S. Marshals, NCIS, NSA, any other federal agency, you name it. Now, to see how this whole thing literally came to being involved in itself, I literally want to take y'all back to 2014.
After the shootings through the streets were done, police would still discover more. Those 3 bodies found in the alleged shooter's apartment, and that's not all they found. ABC's Clayton Sandell tonight with more on that manifesto as investigators try to peer into the mind of the killer. Clayton?
Good evening, David. Tonight you can see this small memorial, some candles and flowers for the 3 men that police say Elliot Rodger killed inside his apartment complex here. But like so many things about this case, the victims were discovered only after this violent rampage ended. Tonight, so many clues in hindsight, puzzle pieces put together too late.
Elliot Rodger here.
Elliot Rodger left disturbing hints, starting with those chilling YouTube videos.
I'll be a god, exacting my retribution and all those who deserve it.
And this 141-page manifesto detailing the troubled life of an alleged killer, from childhood bullying, sibling rivalry, fantasies about killing his father and stepmother, and his most repeated grievance, being rejected by women.
Girls gave their affection and sex and love to other men, but never to me. I'm 22 years old and I'm still a virgin.
He was really upset about why is the world so unfair to him, and like, oh, I'm a good looking guy, and why a girl's falling for those ugly fat guys. That's what he mentioned. And I told him appearance is not everything.
Roger's family says their son was already being treated by multiple therapists.
Nobody would do the types of things that happened last night unless there was some form of mental illness.
But because Roger was never institutionalized for mental illness, it was legal for him to buy those 3 handguns along with hundreds of bullets. And his actions in those videos were so troubling, his parents alerted police. They went to his apartment less than a month before Friday's attack.
The deputies contacted the suspect at the time, found him to be polite and courteous. He downplayed the concerns for his welfare, and the deputies cleared the call.
It's not clear if police could have done anything more.
At an alarming rate, law enforcement are being asked to be law enforcers and psychiatric social workers.
But Roger himself offered one clue, writing, "If they had demanded to search my room, that would have ended everything." A lot of people seem to have some insight into Roger's life, family, friends, therapists, and police, but only one person, Elliot Rodger himself, seemed to have the whole picture. David?
Clayton, thank you. Our coverage of the deadly rampage throughout the night at abcnews.com and, of course, first thing in the morning, right here on Good Morning America.
May 23rd, 2014. Literally around almost 9 years ago, that evening, right? We have a mass killing that took place literally on Isla Vista, California, right around the site where UCSB, the University of California, Santa Barbara, resides, and also where this is the area where Whatever mainly does their podcast currently today, right? Isla Vista, we know, is part of the Santa Barbara area, basically close to almost 2 hours away from downtown Los Angeles, right? So, we got some senseless killings going on by one notable demonic incel. It was actually a wonderful writer, basically born to a notable hardcore Hollywood director, Hollywood producer of The Lord of the Rings, who goes by the name of Mr. Elliot Rodger. So this is the homeboy here, literally a couple months younger than me, on what we know. This is the demon that literally shot up a bunch of innocent people for no reason, just because homeboy can't get his way with women, or is just unwilling to make any social improvements within himself, or even try to talk to people in a respectable discretionary way, especially women. This dude is literally born to a notable, legitimate Hollywood filmmaker, right? Peter Rodger, okay? And basically, his ex is basically a research assistant for a current film company at the time, right? So, they unfortunately separated, the whole 9 yards. Peter has his issues Elliot has his issues based on the issues that's been going on with his parents. And they had, Peter basically remarried, him and his second wife, had the son, which they had to have brother. And Elliot was taking it very, very harshly. We know the demon was diagnosed with autism at the age of 16. And we know homeboy here has been heavily bullied throughout his whole childhood, especially when it comes with high school, based on how he was acting. He was inept with social cues, literally the whole 9 yards. And he was literally traumatized, really for the majority of his life, right? So they literally tease him for literally no reason, just due to like some insecure motherfuckers literally coming by, literally acting an ass, insecure and immature, right? And what made the whole situation worse, right, is when homeboy here was actually trying to hit him with some chicks, and he was actually very salty at other people, especially, like another black dude came by and literally hooked up with like the chicks that he wanted, and that's when he became saltier and turning more and more demonic, right? So he had this book-long manifesto with his great writing skills, basically journaling his own life and his own struggles, and because of all the ills that he's been literally been dealing with, all the blondes that he's been attracted to, and the arrogance that he developed, and all the saltiness that he really felt the majority of his whole entire life, that's how he ended up developing his manifesto and ended up posting his demonic video literally on YouTube and for the rest of the whole world to see what he intends to do with the killings on May 23rd, 2014. And he shows his disdain for the woman that he actually wanted to get with just because they rejected him, even though he had like a bunch of opportunities that he could have had, and actually did some more digging on how he could have improved his whole ordeal and have like another mentor literally guide him, because he felt that all else mainly failed. He made some terroristic threats online, and was basically his parents mainly called the police to try and check to see what he was doing and try and detain him. You know, sheriffs really didn't need to do their job. Basically deemed him so fit, they didn't really deem him like not like involuntary mental health with all the misdiagnosis, which is like a big screw up on their part. And unfortunately, this is what the results that they mainly have if you look at all the traumas that you see up in the Wikipedia page, right? And mind you, right, homeboy claims that he was unable to make friends, but yet a bunch of acquaintances actually told elsewise that he would both they intentionally be friendly towards them, and they had like a family friend at the time basically trying to counsel Roger on actually how to approach women properly and respectfully. Yet Elliot did not even follow the advice whatsoever. And even the family friend even explains that he could see then that there was something wrong with him, and now looking back now he strikes as someone who was broken from the moment of birth. And as you see here, July 2013, Elliot basically wrote that being mocked at a party, he tried but failed to sell some girls over 10-foot leads. Oh my god. What a salty motherfucker. He said other dudes pushed him over and his ankle was injured. Karma. He went back to the sunglasses, he was again mocked and beaten. David saw Rods come home crying around to kill the men involved, and then himself was led to plan the senseless and deadly attack. And y'all see this, ladies and gentlemen. Just because he even couldn't get any tail, just because he couldn't actually pick up any subtle cues and all that stuff, and he actually treat people, and especially women, with respect and discretion. Okay? This is what you see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vai rápido. Muito louco. Let's go outside. Open the door outside. Vamos. The park. Inside the park. There's a few people that are coming. There's customers are coming. Okay. That's pretty much it.
And that's really it, is it?
That's it. Cops came in.
See all the stuff that this demon is doing, right? He comes by hating certain people just because like they out here living their own life, and he's salty because he can't even get the girl or even multiple girls that he aiming for that he wants. And here he is like one day literally trying to literally shoot a bunch of people off and kill off a bunch of innocent people, right? Innocent women as well. Right, that's like the key thing in all this that had nothing to do with his interaction, nothing to do with all his trauma and all his struggles and all that other stuff that literally came by. And you already know the story. Demon stabs 3 men in his apartment. Listen what really goes on one by one their arrival. And then 3 hours later, tries to hit the sorority house. You know what I mean? Failing to get in. He's literally trying to do his mass killing over there. Shoots 3 innocent women outside, 2 of them tragically passing away, and shot a male student inside to death at a deli, right? All of which, right, had nothing to do with his crazy struggles that had literally been going on. And sadly, and then yes, the fuckface literally took himself out, good riddance. Juicy! But this is literally the starting point of what's really going on. When like the master literally going downhill and the FBI putting like its full watts on that whole master, it all stems straight from that noble foundation that you see right here, right? This is like one of the big reasons why those feds are literally hell-bent and are heavily observant on what's really going on, what's really been said right up in these social media streets. So y'all, this is only just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. We gonna be dealing with this. It's gonna be like a good place wise, because this whole thing is gonna be so long. Y'all have literally no idea, right? All this could easily be avoided. How y'all literally try to learn how to be more social and be more respectful towards folks. But because y'all can't really get your own way and not even make any effort to try and improve your life to the point where you really have to be doing demonic shit, y'all, this is the foundation right here. Right there.
I might be in trouble because I literally co-host a podcast called Based Politics, so I'm probably on an FBI watch list now that they flagged Based and Red Pilled as potential flags of violent extremism. Let's be honest, they're extremely common language used on the online right. The Red Pill thing is literally a meme from the Matrix that's used as a meme format for totally apolitical things. The entire thing is nonsense, and it shows how out of touch some of these FBI officials are with the public they're supposed to be serving. And look, I know that a lot of people don't like the idea of defunding the police, but maybe the FBI could use a little budget cut, because clearly they have too much free time on their hands if they're policing internet language.